everybody. How are you doing? Happy Thursday. I hope you're doing well. My name is Lori DeGroot from Lorita Marie Crafts, and I'm a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator here in Calgary, Alberta. And I love to come live every Thursday so I can give you fun tips and techniques and inspiration to help you take your paper crafting projects, paper crafting supplies, and turn them into beautiful projects that you can have fun while you're creating and then share your creations with others. I'm so glad that you're here. Today I'm going to be making a couple cards for you featuring the Dainty Delight bundle, which is in the new January to April mini catalog from Stampin' Up. And it's a really cute bundle, and it matches with some free with purchase paper that you can get through the Celebration promotion right now. We've probably seen me use the paper already because it's amazing. And it's my favorite. So now I get to show you with the bundle how it all goes together. I also just want to quickly mention that every month now I'm going to be hosting a paper crafting workshop. So it is just a fun kind of relaxing way to just get together and craft. And it's just supposed to be a way where you can just come. It's just a couple hours. You can just either purchase a project or bring something from one of my classes maybe that you wanted to finish up on. And yeah, we can have coffee and treats and just have a good time visiting and creating together. So the registration is open for my February one. And so it's going to be on February the 7th, which is a Tuesday. And it goes from 6:30 to 8:30. And so you have three options. You can purchase one of Stampin' Up's amazing kits, which I'll show you one in a second. You can say you're a Paper Pumpkin subscriber and you're a little behind. You could bring one of your Paper Pumpkin kits. Or if you want a brand new project, you can purchase one of my current card kits. So I've got a Regency Park one, and I think I'll include today's two in it as well. So you purchase one of the kits, and then you just come and hang out and craft. And if you don't live in Calgary, I'm so sorry that we can't get together and craft, but you could always purchase kits and grab a couple friends and create your own little craft night. So that could be fun too. So let's go down to the camera. So I can just show you quickly. This is what the kits from Stampin' Up. So it's called the Kits Collection, and there's such a great variety. And actually there's a really cool one out called the Birthday Card. What is it called? Birthday Organizer. It's like a little book where you can make some cards and kind of a perpetual calendar idea, and it's back in stock. This is one of the brand new ones. So you see the kit comes in a box, and it comes with everything you need. So I haven't opened this one yet. So you could even purchase this from me. It's called Saying Thanks Kit. And this one actually doesn't have any stamping or anything. It's just die cut pieces. And what's fun is that it comes in different languages. So if you've got family in other places, I know I've got some friends who like it's got French and German and Dutch. And so that's kind of a cool feature of it. My husband's family is Dutch, so that's kind of cool. And so that's just what the kits look like and how they come. Or like I said, you can purchase one of mine. So if you need more information, I'll post a link up a bit later in the comments. And yeah, let's get started crafting. It has been a long week, guys. I don't know how your week is going, but my week feels long for some reason. I don't know why. But I want to, let's just get into the crafting then, right? So this is the fun part. So this is, of course, the new January to April, or now we're like 3 weeks into it already, mini catalog. And here on page 55, you're going to see the Dainty Delight bundle. So it comes with this really pretty stamp set, which has all these lovely wildflowers, which I love wildflowers and kind of that natural look in my garden. And then it comes with coordinating dies. So, and for Celebration, which is a promotion where just until the end of February, for every $60 and $120 you spend, you can get a free gift from the little brochure here. And so it has coordinating paper right now, which totally matches, and the dies go with it, and everything just looks amazing together. So this is only available free with a $60 purchase until the end of February. And so let's show you. Here's the stamp set, and here is what everything looks like all stamped out. So you've got you know, 5 lovely images here with all the different flowers. And then you've got 4 really nice sentiments. And I love the way they've mixed the fonts there. They're really cute. So that's the stamp set. And then these are the dies, which can look a little overwhelming at first. So I'm going to show you them all cut out. So the big ones here are outline ones. So what that means is that they match all these flower images. You can also cut them out. So you can stamp them and then cut them out. And then there's all these other fun little pieces that you can use on your cards. Let me just pull this in. So you've got this really awesome kind of viney leaf one here. And then there's a little skinny flower stem. Believe it or not, it's so tiny. I almost missed it when I cut it out. That's itty bitty. And then you can, there's this other one here, and then you can combine different flowers. So there's this one that kind of looks nice paired up with that. Then there's this type of flower here. This one kind of, I don't know what exactly the flowers are. It kind of reminds me of salvia or something like that, you know, something tall and pokey. And then it's got little leaves that you can obviously add to there. And then you've got this set of 4 flowers, which just come with 1 die. So you just cut 1 time and you get 4 little flowers, and they have a little embossed center in them, so they're fancy. And these are the little centers. Look how tiny those are. But you cut out 4 at once. So that's what those are. So you cut out all 4 at once. And those are 4, like the little black-eyed Susans or daisies, right? These are one of my favorite flowers. I have tons of them in my garden, and I'm going to be using those today. So you kind of get the full one. Actually, it's supposed to go this way. One that's kind of open, kind of like a cone flower. And then you've got these other 2 little daisy things there. So cute. So cute. So I have a card just to show you quickly before we get to the other 2 that we're going to make today. And what I wanted to show was that you could just stamp the images really simply on a simple background. So I just created a watercolor background, and I am no expert at watercoloring, let me tell you that. I even forgot to use watercolor paper. This is just regular paper. But what I did was I created a mask with the masking paper. And so I cut my masking paper to size, and I cut out a square out of it, or you could just put strips on. That would work too. And then I just did a watercolor wash in Soft Succulent, Fresh Freesia, and Pale Papaya, which look awesome together. And if you don't know, those are retiring in colors. So, and this cardstock base is Soft Succulent. But those colors look so pretty together. And then I just stamped the largest image in Evening Evergreen right over top. So, yeah, that is a way that you could just stamp. You could do anything. You could use your watercolor brushes. You could use your blends to create a background, and then you could just stamp even in black. That looks nice, kind of like a silhouette look. And then you could make a simple set of note cards. So that's kind of a fun, simple idea. And then I wanted to show you a card that just used the dies and different paper. So you can kind of take this bundle outside of that Celebration Designer Series paper. And so we're going to start with a card base here that is crumb cake, which I like, which is a real natural look. And so this is just a regular size card. So 5.5 by 8.5, and then I've scored it in half at 4 1/4. And then we're just going to add totally different DSP, just to throw you a curveball here. So this is actually from the Valentine's Suite, and it's called Country Gingham. And so let me just pull this out. And so it just has, I think, 4 colors. So it's got Sweet Sorbet, Mint Macaron, Balmy Blue, and Petal Pink. And kind of different gingham patterns. I think there might be 4 different gingham patterns. 1, 2, 4. Yeah. So much fun, and kind of gives it that, like, yeah, it's called country. I was going to say country, but that's obvious. It gives it a country feel. So I cut 1 sheet in half at 3 inches, and then I'm going to cut it to 4 inches wide. So then you can get 2 cards out of 1 sheet of paper, which is always nice. with that 6x6 paper, you kind of want to make the most of it. So it's going to go at the bottom of my paper like this. And then we've got a piece of basic white that we're going to put at the top, but we're going to actually emboss it first just to give it some texture. So I'm just going to grab my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. Cheryl says she's going to miss those in colors. I know, they were lovely. Like, and they all went together. Sometimes all the in colors don't go together, but Soft Succulent, Evening Evergreen, like those two greens together are perfect tones, and I'm going to miss them too. They're really nice. Okay, so I got distracted and now I'm not. Try to answer questions and then. So this is the Cane Weave embossing folder, which is new in this catalog as well from the Regency Park Suite. So I've got a piece of cardstock here that's 4x2, and I'm just lining it up with the line at the bottom of the embossing folder so that I get it even using platform 1. And it's a 3D embossing folder, so I just need platform 4 on top. And then you just run it through. And you're going to have this lovely textured piece. And so sometimes when you want just say white kind of on your card, but it looks a little plain just by itself, if you use an embossing folder, which is quick and easy to do, and there's skinny ones that go into the mini machine as well, if you just have the mini, then you get this instant kind of wow factor with real little effort, right? So we're going to put these on, and then just to create a connection point between the two, I just have a strip of Soft Succulent, which is 4 inches by 1/2 inch. So let's just go ahead and put this on. I like to use my Seal Plus when I've got heavily embossed paper, just to make sure it connects with my card really well. And then I'll just use my regular seal for the regular paper. Okay, so then I'm just going to put this at the bottom, and then that strip is going to connect the two. I could have cut that longer too, but I didn't want to add extra bulk. Okay, and then we'll just connect the two with this strip. You can kind of use the gingham paper to help you get it straight too. Okay, and then we're just going to do something pretty simple here. So let's see. I want to use this die here. And so you can see it comes so pretty, and it's even got embossing on the little leaves. So it's got all this great detail. And so I've gone ahead and cut this out in Soft Succulent. So these dies will all fit in the mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. If you've got the mini or you've got the full size one, that's good too. And so now that I've got this, I'm going to actually cut it in 2. And so I'm going to cut it kind of right there so that I have 2 pieces. 1 cut, 2 pieces. And then this is going to be hidden, so I'm not too worried about how that looks at the end there. And then you can use glue to put this on your card, or glue dots. I kind of always talk about this, but I always end up going with glue dots just because it's easier. And so if you can see them, you can kind of try to hide them behind an embellishment, because this is really detailed. Or you could cut out the skinny die using the adhesive sheets, and then it'll create it'll make your cardstock a sticker essentially. Okay, so I'm just gonna put, oh, I think that was backwards. It was backwards. It's backwards. I'm having trouble talking and creating my card today. It's okay, I can get it off. I just wanted the other one first. So this is actually the top, okay? So it's got the nice top on it. It's not the one I cut off. And just gonna grab a glue dot there, and then maybe one down here. Okay, let's try this again. That's what I wanted. I knew as soon as I put the other one down, like, that's not right. Okay, and then we're gonna layer this other one kind of on top, and it's gonna kind of go this way a little bit. Then we're gonna do our sentiment, and I've gone ahead and cut out a label. So any label shape will do. This one I just really like the shape of. It's actually from the Nature's Prints dies. And we're just going to grab a sentiment. Any will do. I'm going to use this one. The best is yet to come. And I'm going to stamp it in Evening Evergreen. And try to lean over, hopefully get it straight there. Not bad. Then I'm going to grab some dimensionals, which I think I need a new package again, but I've got the end here. I'll just snip off these ones. Remember, you can always use your whole sheet of dimensionals. Just snip off all the edge pieces. Nothing goes to waste. So I just got 3 there. And then I'm just going to put that here. And then my favorite part is coming up, and that's the little black-eyed Susan. So there's this die, which creates the full flower. And then there's this one that creates the little kind of already opened one, okay? So we've got those 2. And then we've got the dies that cut out the little centers. And so, like I said, you get 4 at once. And these are itty bitty. So if you want to use adhesive sheets, like I said, so they're already sticky, that would help. Or you can use a little bit of liquid glue. So I think I'm going to do that. So they are even embossed. So they have little dots on them. So in person, it just has so much texture on such a little space, which is really nice. So I'm just going to use a little bit of glue. And then sometimes I use my, in the embossing kit, there's little tweezers. And so sometimes I use these. You've got a pair of tweezers for little tiny things that are hard to pick up with your fingernail. Okay, so this one goes down like this. And then this is like a little triangle, so put the triangle point up. And then you see how it looks like. Oh, I didn't even get it on the, but get it on the cardstock. That'll help. That'll help, but it's glue. I got a minute. I can get it where I want it. And then you can see it looks like an open cone flower. So pretty. Does anybody have these in their garden? When I first got them, it was from my husband's aunt who had tons, and she like brought me a cluster, and now I have them everywhere. I love them. Yeah, because it's what's nice about perennials is that they just keep spreading and filling in, and it's kind of fun. So I'm just putting mini dimensionals on the back of these daisies, and then I'm going to tuck this one kind of in with the leaves. And then I'm going to put this one at the top so that it hides where I cut. And isn't that so cute with the gingham? I really love this card. There we go. So cute. It's a little bright there, the texture. All right, that is our first card today. And these cards, so what I do is these 2 cards that I'm sharing with you are going to be a free with purchase class, or like a card kit. So if you place an order, but let's see, before the end of day on Thursday or Tuesday, next Tuesday, you will receive all the things to make this card and the next one. So if you place an order over $40, let's get all the details right, you will get everything to make 6 cards. So that's awesome. And if you, obviously if you spend $60, you can get this designer series paper for free. Let's show you the paper. So the Dainty Flowers designer series paper, I have showed on previous, on a previous live here. So I'm not going to go through all the different patterns, but it's so pretty. So you've got all these wildflower patterns, and then you've got like a solid on the other side. And so I really wanted a way to kind of highlight this DSP in just a simple way, right? It doesn't always need to be complicated. So this is just a basic white card base, and I have it cut 5.5, 8.5, and then I'm scoring it in half at 4 1/4. And then I've just chosen 2 coordinating patterns. Okay, so this is kind of starry sky colored here. Let's get myself straight again here. And so I've just cut that to size, which is 4 by 5 1/4. So let's go ahead and put this right on. And what I've done, I'm going to show you, is that this looks good with all the patterns. So it's not a design of a card that only looks good, say, with one of the patterns. And so I'm going to make this one, but then show you what you could do with some of the other patterns in the DSP. And then you could make a whole set of note cards with this look, and it wouldn't take you a long time. So then I've just cut a strip of the more detailed DSP, and this is 2.5 by 4. And then that's nice because you cut a strip of 2.5 off your DSP, and then you could get 3 pieces. And then I just picked a coordinating color out of the DSP, and that's Blushing Bride. So that's what the cardstock is. And then I just cut it 1/8 of an inch bigger. So it's 2 5/8 by 4 1/8. Okay, so just to give a little frame to the pattern paper. And then we're going to put this on. And then that goes there. And then the rest is going to come together so fast. So I'm going to use a different sentiment this time, to celebrate you. And let's pick that up. And I'm going to stamp in Starry Sky, which I feel like I haven't done much of yet. This is the 2022 to 2024 in color set. So I don't know, in the summer we were all using all those bright colors, but I feel like I haven't used them for a while. So it's kind of fun to go back and grab this color. It's so rich. Celebrate you. Just gonna keep that open for half a second. Now you could say add some linen thread behind it. Linen thread looks good with this paper. Or if you've got something in the matching color. So this is the twine that comes in all 5 of the in colors. And so this is the Starry Sky one. And you can even just like mush it up. It doesn't even have to be anything. And just stick it to your little adhesive there. And then we'll grab our sentiment. Put some dimensionals on the back. And I'm just going to kind of put that to the right. And then to create a little detail on it, you could choose any of the flowers, right? So any of the ones that you want to cut out. So do you remember that die that had 4 flowers cut together? So there's the die. So I cut them out in Fresh Fuchsia. And I'm going to use these 3 bigger ones and not the itty bitty one. And then I thought maybe they're a little flat just in the one color. So if you wanted to add some color, you could use a sponge dauber. And you could just add some depth to your flower by adding a second color in there. So I've just inked it up in the Starry Sky. And then just adding a little extra color to it. I don't know, that's just something little that you can add into what you're doing. Let's see, that's kind of tiny. You can bring that up so you can see. So then it just kind of adds a little something extra to it. And then we're just going to put these on with glue dots. So we've got, we'll put one up there, and then we'll layer these 2 on the other corner. So I think I'll put the smaller one behind the bigger one. And then we need some gems, right? I'm actually going to show you a couple gems that look good with this paper. So one of my favorites are the iridescent ones. So there's two sizes, big and small. This is just a little strip of the small ones. But I like them because they kind of take on the color of whatever you're putting them on. So I like that about them. And they kind of blend in, right? So they kind of take on the color of what you're putting them on, but they also kind of blend in. So I put 3 on there. The other embellishment that I love with this paper, which if you have looked at ideas online or maybe perused the catalog, is the brushed brass butterflies. They are flat, they are brass, and they are so, so pretty, and they look amazing on this paper. So they would also look really good. I think I might add a couple butterflies onto this card. I think that would look good too. So these are the 2 cards. And then let me show you how you could do this in all the DSP, okay? Well, not all of it, but I have 3 other samples. So let's say that's kind of the purpley one, but you could do the same thing in green, okay? So this is the same Dainty Flowers Designer Series paper. So you could make your card base with the nice green on it, and then you could pull out the pattern that was green. And then you can see it's the same idea, but it's going to give you a whole new look. Or you could go with more purple again. So we've got this pattern, which is kind of fresh freesia with little polka dots on it. And then you could pair it with the paper that has kind of all the purples in it. So pretty. I actually really love that one. And then, or do I love this one? I don't know what's my favorite. So this one is the Blushing Bride. So you could use that as the base. And then this is the paper that has like the bigger wildflowers on it. So you could use your whole stack of paper and have lots of great ideas on how to make your cards. So I hope you liked these. We're already done. That went by fast. Oh, it's still half an hour, but it went by fast. Yeah, so if you like these cards, you could make a purchase before the end of Tuesday. And yeah, Tuesday is the last day of the month, January 31st. And then you will get everything you need besides stamp set and ink to put these cards together, 3 of each. So you just have to make a purchase using my current house code, as be $40 or more. Okay, if you have any other questions or anything like that, so I'm just going to switch to my face. Hi. Thanks for watching, you guys. If you took the time to come back and watch the replay, I really appreciate you doing that. And I guess I'm kind of crooked here. If I can ever help you out with anything, just let me know, or you can find information on my website, which is loritamariecrafts.ca. And if you're local, I hope to see you at my February kit class, where or paper crafting workshop. It's just a fun crafting night, low-key, super fun, and you're going to walk away with a little stack of cards that you've made that you can give away. So I hope to see you guys there, and I will be back next week with another fun project. So bye-bye.